Hello, everybody, and welcome to English Grammar with Amaya sir. For today, we are going to do two interesting things. We are going to go ahead and complete the letter writing. I remember that we've studied one topic, and there was homework, and there was one topic that I told that we'll do later, which was applying for a job. Well, that's also a very important topic to study. So we will study that. We will also go through the homework and I'll reveal the answers. And after that, we are going to study the language set today. So if you remember the very first lecture, I told you that we have got language study section where there will be 10 marks, 4 marks plus 4 marks and 2 marks. If you remember the very first lecture. So today we will practice some language set, and those sets will have 5 questions each, and I would give you 3 minutes to solve those questions, and at the end of those 3 minutes I will reveal the answers. Please be honest about your score, and you can put your score in the comments. All right, so let's get started with the things straight away, and let us go to the letter writing. So we are going to study this in detail. As usual, whenever I am dealing with a topic, I want you guys to be with me and not get distracted with anything at all. So pay 100% attention at what we are doing. So you can see me now in the bottom right hand corner, and the topic is letter writing. So this is the first letter. I was talking about the letter writing, and I said that we will do the second letter first in that lecture, which was about the bad road conditions. This one is a formal letter. Let's see what the topic is. Use the information given in the CV, that's curriculum vitae, also known as the biodata or the resume. Biodata is an old word, resume is the right word. Let me pull up the notepad to show you something. The thing is, resume is what you write the spelling as, but it is resume. That's how you actually pronounce it. That's how the pronunciation is. It's resume. Very, very important, guys, that you know this. It's resume. Resume, okay, is to begin, is to restart. So for example, if it's cricket, then it's a test match, it's end of day's play, and the next morning the innings will resume. That's restart from where you left. That's resume. And this one is resume, and the pronunciation is resume. The spelling remains the same. It's resume. So such words, now this is your homework. What are such words called where the sound is different although the spelling is the same? Listen to me very carefully. I'm not talking about homophones. Homophones is when the sound is the same, the spelling is different. Here you have the same spelling, but the pronunciation is different. So be very careful in telling me what are such words called. Okay, so I will type your homework here. What are the words called when they have the same spelling but a different pronunciation? Okay, it is pronunciation. So what are, this is your homework, guys, this is your homework. Okay, the question is, what are the words called when they have the same spelling but a different pronunciation? That's your homework. So please make sure that you tell me what such words are called. You can make a note of this one. Also, remember what I said, they are not homophone. So don't please type the answer as homophone. I've already told you that they are not homophone. In homophones, what happens is the spelling is different but the sound is the same. I am talking about the words where the spelling is the same and despite that the sound is different. Okay, I hope that the difference is clear. It sounds the same, that's why I said it again. Let's go back to the topic at hand. We were reading the topic. So the topic here is that we have to use the information, and we should address the letter to the manager. So the address is given: Vedika Cosmetics, Industrial Estate, MIDC, Nagpur. The pin code is provided. The advertisement regarding the vacancy had featured in the Times of India on March 9, 2020. So you have also, guys, been provided with the source. So what was the reference? The reference was the advertisement in the Times of India dated March 9. So you have to write down the reference line in this case, because now you know what is the reference. How did you know about this vacancy? Now let's read the CV. The name is given as Yogesh Prabhu. The address is provided. Age is 22 years. The nationality is Indian. The experience is worked as a salesman at a local children's toy store during vacations, that is. The academic achievements: passed the SSC with 82%, passed the HSC, that's the 12th, with 76%, and then completed graduation from the Nagpur University with 63%. First class graduate. Well, that's really an interesting CV there. Okay, so they would provide you the CV and then they would ask you to use it and write a letter. So let us proceed. How does a formal letter look? So let's get started. Imagine this is your margin, and be very careful, guys. The reason is, even the last time when we were doing this formal letter, I told you I'm going to show you what is the latest, absolutely the latest. So pay meticulous attention. So imagine this is the margin. You write the sender's address here. So the name was provided, remember, Yogesh Prabhu. The address was provided as well: Rose Villa, Lakshmi Road, Nagpur, 440022. The pin code was also provided. So to the top left hand side, you have the address, the sender's address. Okay. After that, you leave a line and then you write down the date. I like this format a lot. I did talk about that in the last lecture. If you write it as March 9th, 2020 is also correct. But somehow, guys, I like this format more than the other one. So you can write down the month, then space, and then the date, comma, and then the year. The reason is it eliminates the TH and the RD and the ND choice that you have to make. So March 9 is just March 9. You don't have to write TH, March 9th. Okay, that's the difference. After that, you leave a line again. Then you write down the receiver's address. So who is the receiver here? The receiver is the manager. Notice now here that after 2 there is no comma, guys. There is no comma after 2. To the manager, Vedika Cosmetics, Industrial Estate, MIDC, Nagpur, and the address was provided. So properly go through this. The sender's address, you leave a line. The date, you leave a line. The receiver's address. Then again you leave a line, and now follows the subject line. Notice that the subject line has been underlined. Very important. Everything is to the left hand side of the margin here, guys. Okay. So the subject line is underlined. Application for the post of a sales executive. That is what we are applying for. Then you leave a line, and as mentioned, you write the reference line. Now reference line does not feature always, but in this case they specified that this particular advertisement had featured in the Times of India. So we have to write down the reference. The reference is your advertisement in the TOI, that's Times of India, dated March 8, 2020. Okay, so now I will give you your 2 minutes of time. Well, this one will have 2 minutes, and when we do the language sets, we will grant you, let's say, 3 minutes as agreed. But this one will have 2 minutes. So I'll start your time, and I will join you again at the other side of these 2 minutes. Enjoy the music. Make your notes properly. We will meet after 2 minutes. Guys, I'm very sure that you have made proper notes and or that you are making proper notes. I hope you just know what MIDC stands for. MIDC is Maharashtra Industrial Development Corporation. You should know such basic full forms, always helps. It's a dedicated area for industries. And you have now last 3 seconds. That's it, your time is up. And as homework, I would want you to find out the full form for the banks HDFC and ICICI. So let me take you to the word pad, and your homework is find out the full form of the first one. I want you to find is HDFC. The other one, I want you to find out the full form of ICICI. Okay, so please make sure that you find the full forms. You can type these answers as your comment. Fine, then let's continue. Let's get back to what we were discussing, the formal letter. So this is basic, it's done, and now let's continue. So this is what the letter will look like. You start with sir, the salutation, comma. Guys, somehow I am not a big fan of respected sir, because I always believe that sir itself is a salutation of respect, showing respect. So respected sir is really overcooking the pudding. I don't like that. Sir is just fine, or madam if applicable. So let's read it. Do not start writing it. I will give you a couple of minutes. You all know that. So please understand how we have approached the subject, how we have written the body of the letter, what words I have used. And I always say this, guys. I want to come on cam to, yes, highlight this. I always say that you have to underline important parts, but then students don't simply get the point. There is either no underline at all, or there are so many underlining that basically everything is important. So you got to finally maintain that balance of what to underline. Important components, critical ideas, there has to be some underline. Now if you look at what I'm trying to say, if you look here, you have got certain parts which are underlined, but not everything is underlined. So please, when I read it, pay proper attention, give me undivided focus, and later I will definitely give you your 2 minutes to jot down everything. Okay, so let me read and enjoy my reading. Okay, look how we have developed this topic. So sir, I, the undersigned, residing at the address mentioned above, wish to apply for the post of a sales executive in your esteemed company. So the underlined part is the sales executive and esteemed company, important parts. I am 22 years old, science graduate from the Nagpur University. I have secured 63% in the final examination. So you have made it very clear. I am very fluent in English, Hindi and Marathi, but the languages are underlined because it's a post of a sales executive. Your communication skill is very important there. Additionally, I have, you could have put a comma here, could have. It's not wrong not to have it, but anyway. I have good communication skills. I have won. Well, this word is won and not won, okay? W-O-N is won. I have won many prizes in the intercollegiate elocution competition. Notice the spelling of intercollegiate. And I have worked at a local toy store. I wish to better my prospects. Look at the line here, okay? Wonderful. I wish to better my prospects, and therefore I wish to seek work in your reputed organization. I assure you of my dedicated service should you consider my candidature fit for the post. Absolutely lovely, guys. I will read this one more time. If this is the way you present yourself for the job, I have no doubt you'll get the interview call in the least bit, okay? So you will definitely get a call. That's the least that could happen, I'm saying. Look at the line. I wish to better my prospects. So I already, what you're saying is that I already have a job, but I wish to better my prospects, and therefore I wish to seek work in your reputed organization. I assure you of my dedicated service. So if given a chance, I'm going to give my 100%, a dedicated service. Should you consider my candidature fit for the post? So should you consider me fit for the post, I promise that I will work very sincerely. Very nice. Okay. I have enclosed here with a photocopy of my latest resume. Notice that you write resume with a slant over the E, just like in cafe. It's French. And copies of certificates for your kind perusal. Look at this word, perusal, guys. The meaning of perusal is for your kind attention. The meaning of perusal. I'm sure that you want to use such good words, okay? Perusal, 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 for your kind attention, for your consideration, for your kind perusal. Very nice, guys, such words, okay? Eagerly awaiting your response, yours faithfully, then there's a comma, but notice how I've written yours. There is no apostrophe, okay? No apostrophe. Yogesh Prabhu. Instead of XYZ, you have Yogesh Prabhu because they had given the name, okay? Now we write the enclosures for the copy, the photocopy of my latest resume, copies of my certificates. Remember, he has intercollegiate certificates and the elocution competition, that is, and also his degree and the HSC and SSC certificates. Fantastic. So this is the way you've got to keep it short, simple, to the point, because it's a formal letter. And now I'm going to start your countdown time of 2 minutes. Copy it absolutely carefully with the spellings and everything. I will see you at the end of these 2 minutes. Enjoy the music. Guys, when you are jotting down everything, you, I'm sure, are making notes of the meaning. So perusal is for your kind consideration. Resume is the sound. WON is one. The spelling of intercollegiate. Fluent, esteemed, dedicated. All are wonderful. Candidature. Your time is up and I hope that you have made necessary notes. Let's get back to what we were doing. And this was the formal letter 2 that we did earlier. Now the thing is, I'll go fast because we've studied this. The assignment was that I had given you these words and then you were supposed to use these words into this body of the letter. Okay. So here are the answers and I want you to be really honest about it and tell me, leave the comment if you got 100% correct. Okay. So the first one here is potholes. This letter is to bring to your attention the bad conditions of the roads in the Subhash Nagar area. The roads are all broken up and filled with potholes, causing accidents. These roads have become totally unsafe for children and the senior citizens. The streets are not lit, which keeps the streets in total darkness. This has led to incidences of robbery and assaults previously. Whatever is left of the streets is littered with dirt, garbage, and excreta, causing terrible stink, and the streets prove to be an ideal breeding ground for mosquitoes and other insects. I earnestly hope this letter to the municipal authorities brings some changes in the area. We would like the roads to be paved and made even. All garbage must be put in bins and collected by the municipal workers every morning. Steps must be taken to get rid of the mosquitoes and other insects. We hope to see improvement at the earliest. I would be highly obliged if you print this article in your newspaper so that awareness is created and actions are taken at the earliest. Thanking you in anticipation, yours sincerely, ABC. You would notice that here you have ABC because they did not provide us with any name, any fictitious name. So here we have ABC. And now let me know if you got 100%. Okay, if you got all those words right. I am sure you did, but okay, let me know if you missed an occasional entry here or there. So we have done the letter writing task for today, and the that was the first objective of today's lecture. The second objective is go to the language study. So we are going to study some language study sets. I have a lot of sets, of course, but we cannot complete all. So we will see how many sets we can do. I'm going to allot 3 minutes of thinking time. Guys, 3 minutes is a lot of time. So just don't be hasty and write something for the sake of it. You should see to it that when I show you the answers, you should probably be at 4, at 5, 3.5 at least. Then it makes sense. So when I give you the thinking time, it's not to be wasted. Don't be very hasty and just finish it in the first minute and sit idly for the remainder of the time. I have thoughtfully decided to give you 3 minutes. You would need the time and check your answers. So let me take you to the particular PowerPoint where we are going to study language the language study sets, and here we are. Okay, so this is what we are going to study, language study. And if you remember that it is 4 plus 4 plus 2, so that was the division. 4 marks of easy questions, 4 marks of intermediate, and 2 marks of challenging questions. The total is 10 marks. We studied this during the very first lecture, and that was when we discussed the syllabus, the paper pattern, the topic wise marking scheme, and everything. Now the topics to study. So what are the topics that will be covered in these language sets? Compound words, gerunds and infinitives, arranging in alphabetical order, word chain, punctuation, spot the error and correct the sentence, hidden words, types of sentences, participles, that is past and present, homophones and homographs, clauses, tenses, direct indirect speech, change the voice, word register, degrees of comparison, modal auxiliaries, it's not model, it's modal, simple, compound and complex sentences, words to be used in your own sentences, parts of speech, and transformation of sentences. Guys, there are 21 topics. It's no joke. 21 topics that we will cover in a lot of sets. I mean, every set will just have 5 questions. So I don't mean that we are going to study all 21 in the first 2 sets. So, but basically these are the topics for you. And I'm not going to give you 2 minutes for this. Do you know the reason why? Because this is exactly what we studied when in the first lecture I told you what the paper pattern is like. So this has already been discussed, and I don't see a point why I should give you 2 minutes for this. You already must have jotted this down. Okay, so this is the first set. Now I'm going to put the questions. All the questions will be revealed at one go. Then I will start your time, which is 3 minutes. And post that, I will reveal the answers. Okay, so here you go. These are the questions, and your time of 3 minutes starts. I'll see you at the end of these 3 minutes. Do it. All the best, and please use your time. half a minute more, and I hope that you're coming up with all the answers. I'm positively sure. That's it, last 5 seconds. Okay, your time is up, and time for me to reveal the correct answers. And the correct answers are, now you see them. Guys, for question number 2, I must say that you had to use the words in your own sentences. So there could be, of course, other answers, but these are just sample answers. When you use judge as a person, it's noun. When you use judge as an action, it's a verb. Okay. Now this line here, don't judge a book by its cover. Recently there are a lot of advertisements, guys. I see them on telly where this line has been used. Don't judge a book by its cover. So whenever judge as a person is used as a noun and judge as an action is verbs, you could come up with some other line as well. The first one, observe that there was opening of inverted commas because it was she asked. And because you opened up the inverted commas, the double inverted comma, the first letter is always capital. And because it's a question, you add a question mark and the double quotes and the full stop at the end. Please let me know if you got everything right here, and be honest when you leave your comments. We have discussed about the second one. Let's go to the third. I seen him today morning. Correct the error / errors. Guys, this means that there could be one error or more. That's why correct the error / errors. So there were a couple of errors. I seen him. No, I saw him. And you never ever say today morning. You say this morning. So let me know if you got if you spotted both the errors and rectified. Fourth one, arrange the words in alphabetical order and underline the second word. So here you have them, adamant, ADA, that's the alphabetical order, ancestors, ancient, audience. And they had asked us to underline the second word, so obviously ancestors is underlined. And again, let me know if you got it right. The fifth one is choose the verbs whose past participles are formed by doubling the last letter and write them. Of these, if you look at write, it becomes writing. Stop is stopping. Very important. Past participles, you can write down stopped, actually not stopping. You can write down the word as stop, because this stopping will be present participle. So you can actually go ahead and write down stopped with a double PED. Okay. And as far as robbing is concerned, that also can be written as ROBBED. So this, what I have provided, will give you the present participle, but the question was about past participle. So you can definitely write down stopped and robbed. The words have been chosen correctly. There's no doubt about that, because the past participle of burn is burnt, hurt remains hurt. So write is write, wrote, written. So it is stopped and robbed. Please correct it accordingly. Okay. Let me know in the score. That is in the comment. Let me know your score in the comment. Let's proceed to the next one. The next one, the set 2. Again, the same sequence. I will reveal the questions and then start your countdown timer for 3 minutes. Later, we will check. Okay. So here are your questions and your time starts now. Enjoy the music. I'll be with you at the end of these 3 minutes. Okay, guys, when you are providing me with the homophones, I have no doubt that you consider the short vowel and the long vowel sounds. For example, fill and feel are different, slip and sleep are different. So here you have the word seen, S-E-E-N, seen. It's not sin, it's seen. Be very careful. So I'm not going to take S-I-N as the answer. Very important point, and your time is up. Time for me to reveal the answers. The answers are as follows. Let us study them one by one. I have seen this car. Rewrite using the plural form. So if you have to make car as cars, then you have got to change this to these. Guys, that's a very important change. Kindly let me know if you have really done it correctly. Don't just write I have seen this cars. Because if you are going to write cars, then you're definitely going to change this to these. Okay. The next one, form two present participles. Well, last time it was past participles. Now surely we have the present participles. So the ing form is correct, where the last letter is doubled. So run becomes running, double N, and hit will become hitting. So there could be other answers. Of course, you can write something of your own. Of course, the condition is that the last letter should be doubled. Let me know in the comments what your answers were. The third one, where are you going? Identify the type of sentence. Because it asks you a question, this becomes an interrogative sentence. I want you to pay attention, guys. Interrogative is I-N-T-E-R-R. This double R is very important. Interrogative. Double R-O-G-A-T-I-V. Now for homophones, remember the first point was about the scene, the word scene. So I'm not going to take SIN. If you had written SIN, well, it is wrong. Okay. I'm not going to take sin. So this is seen. Let's start. I-E-Y-E-C-S-E-A. New is with a silent K. Air is H-E-I-R. This is not hair. Pain is P-A-N-E. Scene, S-C-E-N-E. I-N is I-double-N, in, that's a hotel or a pub. False is true or false, F-A-L-S-E. Kindly let me know if you got all of them. The fifth and the last one, use collective nouns from the options to complete the word chain. So we had to complete the word chain, okay? But they had given us options. So mob ends with B. The word is bunch. Don't use bed. The reason why you would not use bed is because they want the collective nouns. Guys, they wanted collective nouns. Bed is not a collective noun. Then ends with H. So you start with heap. Okay. You don't use house because house is again not a proper, not a collective noun. Ends with P, so you're going to use panel, collection of experts. You cannot use plate, it's not a collective noun. Ends with L, so we are going to use litter. Okay, you cannot use lamp because lamp is not a collective noun. I hope that you got this one correct as well. Okay, then it's time for us to move to the next set. This is going really well. Let me know if you're thoroughly enjoying this. Okay. As usual, I'm going to now pull up the next question set, that is the set 3. I will show you the questions, start the timing, and guys, I hope that you're utilizing your time very well. It's important to utilize time. Some people just do it very hurriedly just to do something, and they don't make justice to the questions asked. You should be 3.5 and above out of these 5 every time. And of course, if your answers for certain questions like make your own sentences or something is different, do leave in the comments. Show your answers in the comments. Okay. Now back to the third set. So these are the questions and I'm going to start your countdown timer. There you go. And I'll see you at the end of these 3 minutes. Enjoy the music. All the best. Okay, hopefully you're getting all the answers, and you find that you will get more than 3.5 out of 5. Last 10 seconds. Okay, so your time is up, and time for me to reveal the answers. So these are the answers. Let's go through them one by one. Make a word register for the words related to music. So I have provided the words song, tunes, concert, and pianist. Remember, every question is for 1 mark, guys. So you have to provide at least 4 words so that they can give at least 1/4 for each. So that will make it for 1 mark. Okay, of course in this question your answer can be different to what I have provided, because there are so many words related to music. I have used song, tunes, concert, and pianist. You can use your own words. Again, if your words are different, you can leave a comment. Make your own sentences using the homographs bat and bat. Okay, so this is interesting. This is another category of words. Okay, I discussed what are homophones. There was one question for you regarding the kind of words, and now here you have homograph. So this is really interesting, whatever we are studying today, guys. I'm so happy. But your own sentences using bat and bat as homograph, so you cannot be referring to the same thing. Those are two different things. So here the first one is the impact was so strong that the batsman broke his bat. So this is a tool to bat in cricket, and the bat is a flying mammal. Where everybody is aware of what a bat is, especially during this COVID-19 times. Okay, I better move to the next one quickly. The third one, he will keep it a top secret, change the voice. I've always said this, whenever you have to do change the voice, you always look at the action word. So the action word is keep here. So you start after the action word. So after the action word, you have the word it. So you're starting as it will be kept a top secret. By part should be at the end. I hope you scored here without any effort. But the by part should be at the end, guys. I've told you this many times. Put the by part at the end. He will keep it a top secret. It will be kept a top secret by him. I was calling the doctor. Rewrite using the present perfect tense. Whenever you hear this or read this present perfect, you have the following options. You either use has plus V3 or you use have plus V3. Now over here, what is the subject? I. So you cannot use has with I over here. That's why have is right here. I have called the doctor. You cannot say I has called the doctor. But these two words give you present perfect. Next one. This is the one that I actually would be interested in knowing whether you got it right or not. Change to the reported speech. And mind you, such questions can be asked for 2 marks if there are, let's say they give you in a question answer format. So let me come on cam, this is important. So let's say they give you 2 particular direct speech statements, and they will ask you to make it indirect. So it's a single question for 2 marks. So for example, police asking something and the person replying, or the judge asking something to the witness and the witness replying, the teacher asking something to the student and the student replying, or the vice versa, the student asking something to the teacher assuring something. So such questions can be asked for 2 marks. One question for 2 marks in that 2 mark challenging questions. Okay, you remember the division 4 plus 4 plus 2. So such questions can be asked over there. And so we will go back to what we were studying, and we were studying the 5th one. So the 5th one is eat fresh green leafy vegetables, doctor said. So the doctor advised his patient. Advice is with SE, remember we discussed this, the CE and the SE difference. In fact, I had given you the homework. A lot of students did that. The CE is the noun form, the SE is the verb form. The doctor advised his patient that he should, you can use she if your patient is female, he should eat fresh green leafy vegetables. or there's option here, guys. So this is the answer, or you may write what I've provided as second. The doctor advised him or her to eat fresh green leafy vegetables. You could have written one of the two and you can give it correct. So both the format makes sense. I would prefer the first one, but if you have written the second one, it is absolutely correct. I'm very happy. Let us proceed to set number 4. Boy, we are able to do everything very nicely today. Again, I would say, by the way, I hope you realize the variety in the questions. There are a lot of variety. This will be set number 4, and in each set we covered different variety. There are 21 topics, remember, different topics, and we are trying to cover them, trying to cover the entire spectrum. I hope that you're realizing the value of this. We're covering the entire range that we have here. Okay, so set number 4, here it is. I'm going to show you the questions. Here are your questions. That means that now I can start your time. 3 minutes. I will start your countdown timer. Enjoy the music and we will be together after the 3 minutes are over. Okay guys, I hope that you are getting all the answers here like I expect in every set. Nothing new. Your final 15 seconds before I reveal the answers. Another 5 seconds. Okay, so your time is up. By the way, so I will show you the answers now. Here they are. Let us study them one by one. Arrange the orders in alphabetical order and underline the third word. So peace comes first, permission, poor, priority, and the underlined word should be poor. Please make sure that you underlined it because they want us to underline the third word. Oops. Then he was absent because he was ill. Identify the clause. So he was absent will be the main clause. Because is the subordinator. So because he was ill is a subordinate adverb clause of reason. Okay, I hope you got the first one right and the second one right as well. The government will take care of the migrant laborers based on current affairs. Identify the modal auxiliary and its type. Well, this will clarifies that it is modal auxiliary of certainty. I will like to remind you guys that we had this will discussion when we were doing the lesson, the concert. Your father will take you, that's certainty, and your father may take you will be just a possibility, not a certainty. Here the government will take care of the migrant laborers suggests that here clearly this is certainty, will. The fourth one is favorite pastime is reading. Pick out the gerund. Reading is the gerund. By the way, now time for me to come on cam. There's a basic difference between gerund and a participle. Gerund can be replaced with an infinitive. Okay. Participle is the action. Gerund acts more like a noun. So what is the line that we saw? His favorite pastime is reading. So we are talking about reading as a thing. We are not implying that he is reading at that moment or that he was reading. We are referring to reading as an activity. That's why we can say alternatively as to read is his hobby or his hobby is to read. So you can replace a gerund with an infinitive. Point to be noted. A gerund can be replaced with an infinitive. A participle cannot. So that's a very nice point that you could remember. Okay. Again, one last time. Gerund can be replaced with an infinitive. For example, his pastime is reading. His pastime is to read. Okay, but a participle cannot be replaced with an infinitive because it shows action. Gerund acts as a noun. Participle acts as a verb. Let's get back. We were checking the answers. Question number 5 and the last one. Provide the past form and the past participle form of grow. So the past form is grew and the past participle is grown. Grow, grew, grown. Remember that. That reminds me that we had studied once this distinction between hang, hanged, hanged, and hang, hung, hung, and shine, shined, shined, and shine, shown, shown. By the way, I've received the homework by a lot of people, and I'm very impressed. Of course, most of them Googled it, but nonetheless, the answers, the entries were right. Fantastic. Guys, we have another, let's say 4 minutes. I'm tempted into doing another set. So let us do one more set very quickly. I will pull up the questions and I'll start the countdown also very swiftly. Here you go. I shall join you after the end of these 3 minutes. Enjoy the music. Okay guys, last 30 seconds odd, and this is the last set. So I'm sure that you want to score 5 out of 5 to end the session with a bang. Last 15 seconds. It was really wonderful whatever we achieved in this lecture. Last 5 seconds before we do the checking. Time up guys, time up. Okay, so let me reveal the answers and we will look at them one by one. Here are the answers. Let's take a look at them. So use the word love once as a noun, once as a verb. Again, your answers could be different. Verb is using it as an action. Noun is as a thing. So love is a gift of God. Then it becomes a thing. Love thy neighbors is you're asking to do something. So that's noun as a verb. Let me know if your answers are different than mine. There were a lot of women in the ground. Spot the error. There were a lot of women in the ground. This is horrible. Woman. I'm sure you spotted that. Okay. They will distribute the goods in the afternoon. Rewrite using the noun form. So they will make the distribution of goods in the afternoon. Distribute, the noun form is distribution. Although there was a delay, so this was parts of speech guys, the number 3. Although there was a delay, the teacher accepted the submission. Make a simple sentence. In spite of the delay. So in spite of is one way of getting a simple sentence guys, okay? In spite of the delay, the teacher accepted the submission. Please let me know if you got this right. If not, just remember in spite of and the noun form is one way of getting a simple sentence. Mango is one of the sweetest fruits. Now because it's one of the, you cannot start with no other guys. If you started with no other, then you are absolutely wrong. Okay, because it is one of the, your answer should begin with very few. The very few other fruits in the world are as sweet as mango. That's it guys, that's it. We were able to accomplish a lot in this lecture, at least to my satisfaction. 5 language sets and 2 letter writing, 1 for homework, but 1 was a job application with the latest format. I hope you enjoyed the lecture as much as I enjoyed presenting it to you. Up until next time, please stay home, stay safe, and we will meet very soon. Take care.